The moment of truth arrives at the altar.
Yeah.
We see the confetti, we hear the dramatic, the whole promise that this emotional connection, forged sight unseen in a glowing pod, is enough.
Right, that it can conquer anything.
And for 4 years, one couple was the ultimate proof. The golden couple. They were the standard bearer for the whole grand experiment.
Oh, completely.
They built this seemingly perfect life, a new home, that reality TV fame, and a beautiful, precious daughter. Then, in December 2025, the final, shocking announcement arrived.
The collapse.
The ultimate collapse of the experiment's promise. It's when a social experiment designed to prove love is blind instead proved that reality bites, and it bites hard. Welcome to StarScope Report.
Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and of course, viral influencer scandals.
We dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today, we are absolutely investigating the most shocking pop culture trend of the year. The Love is Blind 2025 divorce wave.
Okay, let's get into this because there are really two distinct trends of failure here. You have the quick, explosive splits, and then you have the slow, inevitable collapse of the veterans.
The ones we all thought were safe.
Exactly. So we have to start with the news that truly broke the internet. The one that cemented 2025 as the year of reckoning.
The fall of the golden couple. You're talking about Alexa and Brennon.
Alexa and Brennon Lemieux from season 3.
I mean, when I saw that notification pop up on my phone, I actually gasped, like out loud. They were supposed to be forever.
They were the anchor. And the official headline is just stark. Season 3 is officially a failure.
100% a failure now.
Alexa and Brennon, the fan favorites from the Dallas season, announced their divorce on Wednesday, December 3, 2025.
And 4 years married. That's an eternity in reality TV time. It really suggests they genuinely tried.
They really did. It seemed like they were overcoming the, the structural problems of how they met.
For a while, yeah, it looked like they'd actually made it.
They tied the knot on camera back in 2021. And with their separation, we have to look at the cold, hard stats.
It's not pretty.
Their split means the success rate of Love is Blind. Season 3 is now definitively 0% among the married couples. 0.
Wow, they were the last one standing. Because Colleen and Matt had already...
They announced their separation earlier in the year, yeah. But what gives this particular split its, crushing weight is that they had moved into the next phase.
A family phase.
Exactly. This isn't just a breakup, it's the end of a family unit.
Yeah.
The split comes just 16 months after they welcome their daughter.
Oh, Vienna. Yeah. July 2024.
You look at that timeline and you just realize the biggest life stressor, imaginable new parenthood, was dropped onto a relationship that maybe was already on shaky ground.
That's it. That's the pressure point.
And the statement was so careful. We know Alexa posted their joint statement on Instagram. It's very civil, stressed the decision was not made lightly, that they leave with gratitude.
The classic celebrity separation playbook.
A total masterclass. It was all about co-parenting with compassion.
Which is great, but it left everyone desperate for answers, right? Because they were this ideal blend of different backgrounds. She came from wealth. He was the humble, salt-of-the-earth guy.
And that contrast made them so compelling.
Totally. But that contrast also brings up the money thing.
The financial element, which is fascinating because TMZ reports that Brennon was the one who filed for divorce.
He filed. Interesting.
And while we don't know about a prenup for sure, we do know Alexa comes from a significantly wealthy family.
And we all saw that conversation on the show. With her dad. He basically laid out his financial expectations for Brennon on camera.
Exactly. So when a couple meets under these, artificial conditions, those real world things, money, family, careers, they get glossed over by that pod chemist.
They get kicked down the road.
And the sources are confirming the fan theories are all pointing to this stress of new parenthood. But when you pair that with these specific unresolved issues of an accelerated marriage,
like money and class differences,
the foundation just crumbles faster. The pod protects you from reality for a few weeks, but it doesn't, inoculate you against it for 4 years.
No, not at all. The pressure cooker of having a baby just exposed that deficit. It was always there.
So Alexa and Brennon's collapse was the final blow of the year. But we need to rewind a bit and look at the trend. What's truly fascinating here is the timing of these 2025 splits. They all clustered around this critical period we're calling the 4-year reality barrier.
And if you're loving these kinds of Hollywood twists, not just who split, but the deep dive into why, make sure you're subscribed. because we're about to get into the two very different ways these long-term marriages failed. And believe me, one of them got very, very messy.
The data from 2025, it shows this clear pattern. It confirms this reality barrier exists. The trend is simple. The divorce is clustered heavily around that 3 to 4 year mark.
It's like a delayed reaction, you know. The show's bubble doesn't just pop, it slowly leaks air for 4 years until the whole thing just collapses.
Exactly. And within that failure zone, 2025 gave us two very different kinds of breakdown. First, you have the managed separation.
The quiet, amicable one.
Right, which is exemplified by Matt and Colleen, also from that same ill-fated season 3.
Of course.
They announced their separation earlier in May 2025 after almost 4 years. And their split was incredibly controlled. They noted they'd been separated for some time now, and they were all about a managed closure, no public drama.
That's the high road, right? The quiet exit. It says that even if they failed, they had enough mutual respect to handle it like adults.
But then you get the absolute opposite, the contentious implosion.
Oh, here we go. Season 5's only success story.
We're talking Lydia Velez-Gonzalez and James Milton Johnson. They announced their split in June 2025 after nearly 3 years. And this was not a joint statement.
No, this was a public airing of grievances. Pure, unadulterated reality TV drama. Lydia went straight to the court of public opinion. She announced the split and the very serious allegations on a podcast. Hosted by another Love is Blind alum, AD.
Wow. And the allegations were incredibly serious. We're talking about infidelity.
Multiple issues. She claimed infidelity and, this is the really heartbreaking part, a total lack of support when she got diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
A serious health diagnosis.
Yeah. And this is where that structural deficit of the show gets really ugly. You rush through all the normal relationship phases, so you don't build the deep trust you need to handle something devastating like that.
And the vulnerability she showed on TV, for it to be shattered so publicly, has to be so much more damaging.
Oh, absolutely. And what's more, Milton has stayed completely silent, publicly silent about the divorce, about the allegations.
So that creates this really one-sided, dramatic, public story. It just fuels the gossip machine.
It really highlights the difference between the couples who try to manage their story and those who are willing to just implode in front of everyone.
That's a great way to put it. But if the long-term failures show the slow decay, the short-term failures, they reveal the core, immediate flaw in the whole experiment.
Right. Let's talk about the couples whose marriages lasted mere months.
It's the other end of the timeline, the swift endings, where that reality barrier hits almost instantly.
And you realize just how fragile that pod connection is once it hits, laundry day.
The analysis is pretty clear here. These rapid dissolutions happen because of a fundamental failure to adjust to post-show reality. The show is an artificial incubator.
I like that. An artificial incubator.
It's a fantasy world where the only job is to have intense emotional bonding. Then you leave and you're hit with rent and groceries and domestic life.
And we saw this so vividly over in the UK.
The UK example, Ashley and Billy from Series 2, they both said, "I do at the altar."
And then divorce just 3 months later, 12 weeks.
The split was announced right at the start of 2025.
And Billy's reason is the smoking gun that proves your theory. He ended the marriage on January 3rd, and he specifically cited his struggle with the transition into reality after the experiment.
He felt disconnected once the magic was gone.
Struggle with the transition into reality. I mean, that's maybe the most honest critique of the show possible. The intensity in the pods isn't real life.
It's an emotional surge designed for TV. Real life is logistics.
And that's where Ashley really felt the sting. She said he just gave up on love so quickly. And in hindsight, he should have just said no at the altar if he couldn't survive the, day-to-day grind.
The U.S. franchise also contributed to this early failure trend in January 2025.
Right. Ashley and Tyler from season 7.
Another quick split right after the vows.
And their statement pointed to a similar thing, right? The pod romance masked real issues. Ashley said she realized their paths are no longer aligned.
And that the mutual understanding and transparency she hoped for just wasn't there.
The transparency of the pod turned out to be totally opaque in the real world.
And here's the final damning metric on just how precarious this initial stage is. Let's look at the UK couple who didn't get married.
Jed and Barta.
Right. Barta said no at the altar, but they decided to try dating after the show, without the pressure of a legal marriage.
You think that would help them, give them a better shot?
It didn't. They only managed to stay together for 3 more weeks.
3 weeks?
3 weeks post-altar before they split up. The accelerated pairing even without the legal stress, failed almost immediately when it faced non-televised reality.
Wow, 3 weeks. That just reinforces it. The jump from pod fantasy to daily domesticity is the single most dangerous point in this whole thing.
It really is.
I mean, if they can't even survive 3 weeks of just dating in the real world, what chance did Alexa and Brennan really have 4 years later, arguing over who's getting up for the baby at 3 a.m.? The seeds of that 4-year collapse were sown in the 3-month reality crash.
The 2025 divorce wave really was a major reckoning for this show. These failures confirm that neither a few weeks of dating nor 4 years of marriage is immune to the structural deficits of the format.
Yeah, the rapid splits prove incompatibility is inevitable outside that incubator.
And the long-term splits proved that even the most intense emotional bonds can't just erase fundamental differences in the real world.
It honestly makes you wonder if the format itself is inherently cruel. It demands this extreme vulnerability and public commitment, only to throw these people into the full stress of reality TV fame, new parenthood, or even severe health issues, all while the world is watching them fail.
So what's the true psychological cost?
Exactly. What price do these people truly pay for their 15 minutes of televised romance?
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.